The 48 Rules of Retirement. Rule number 2. Be prepared. Yes, I borrowed it from the Girl Guides, which served our 2 daughters well. You might ask me, so Mr. Retirement Coach, you have been retired for 23 years. What's retirement really like? That's always the first question. What follows is a personal example, but an identical scenario will also unfold with you. Really, trust me, it will. After a distinguished career engaged in influencing the hearts and minds of thousands of young people, like Sidney Poitier in To Sir with Love, when I retired from teaching, I was immediately showered with tokens of appreciation. Actually, not really a shower, more a trickle of generic cards, inspirational notes via email, paperback books, inexpensive remainders, and a cheap coffee mug purchased from the dollar store with its sardonic caption, "Warning. Retiree. Knows it all, and has plenty of time to tell you about it." There were some gift certificates, notably in rather small denominations, and thoughtful items from close friends. Not a bad start, one might argue. However, trouble like V-shaped formations of honking geese that transmit avian flu soon arrived. There were modest inquiries, gentle musings, and polite suggestions concerning how I might spend my free time. What were my plans? Where will I go? How will I fill the day? Did I have a schedule? Did I have any hobbies? Was I going to get another job? Did I intend to volunteer? What will I do? My once loyal spouse joined the conspiracy, advising me that she harbored great anxiety about my hanging around the house all day long. It didn't matter to her if I was in my office and out of sight. It didn't matter to her if I used my earphones to listen to music. She needed private time, quiet time, time when no one else was in the house. In other words, Mr. Retiree, get lost. At first, it was easy to answer the incessant questions and fend them all off with clever and trite responses. It's going to take me some time to figure out what I want to do, I mused with a deceptive smile. I don't want to make any silly mistakes and rush into anything. I would posture with yet another deceptive smile. I had previously used that very technique to postpone circumcision, the pulling of wisdom teeth, and a vasectomy. I assured my spouse that I would engage in library days, drive to the local university once per week, and devour stimulating periodicals and newspapers, all for free. I would become a regular at the downtown bookstore, drinking upscale coffee with other like-minded highbrow retirees. Or, I might join one of the many municipal service clubs such as the Druids, Sons of Anarchy, Rotary International, Lions, maybe even Lionesses, as they are far better hunters. In my ample spare time, I vowed to commence a healthy diet and a vigorous exercise regime that included push-ups and sit-ups. In short, I would remain active and engaged each and every moment of the day, so all of you well-wishers please get off my back. The Inquisition gathered steam. Do you play golf? Nope. Gave it up years ago. Good way to spoil a walk. Ha, ha, ha. Do you garden? Not really, but I dig it. Ha, ha, ha. What about crafts? Sailing? Sniffing glue? Cocaine? Needlepoint? Lawn bowling? Shuffleboard? Modeling clay? Horseback riding? Yodeling? It was dreadful. The daily inquiries and incessant suggestions geared to facilitate my optimal living became onerous, worse than watching the evening news on TV. After much agony, I concocted a brilliant solution, borrowed from the marketing genius of Walmart. I decided to become a retirement greeter. Not the run-of-the-mill glad-hander fixed to a static position at the front of a store. No, sir. Not me. I craved variety and change of scenery. I gazed at my dormant bicycle. And as with Archimedes, my bathwater overflowed. Eureka! I shouted out in Greek. If you happen along a bicycle path where I live, you might catch a glimpse of me in action performing my new vocation as a greeter. Everyone who passes is subjected to good wishes. Bikers, walkers, inline skaters, couples, singles, mixed groups, homosexuals, heterosexuals, transsexuals, hermaphrodites, albinos, dogs, cats, squirrels. They all receive a wide, toothy grin and a merry, "How are you today?" Occasionally, I salute someone with a "Como esta?" or "Bonjours." Or I perform an Asian bow to help fashion a multicultural greeting operation. The Girl Guides were correct. Be prepared. The solution was simple, as are most remedies in retired life. To start off your retirement, at first, simply try to be a greeter. Remember, you are retired and they aren't. Greet people with a casual smugness that they will envy. They will think that lucky character, he doesn't have to do anything. Soon, we will examine strategies that address other important retirement issues such as exercise, diet, finance, and sex. Yes, sex. Please be patient. In the meantime, here are a few more suggested activities for novice retirees to help get all of those well-wishing pests off of your back. Activity number 1. Try tightrope walking, skydiving, and bungee jumping. These riskier activities are predicated on the simple fact, as evidenced from your age and corresponding insurance actuarial tables, that your time may soon be up. So you might as well go out with a bang. Activity number 2. Grow pot. Authorities in most countries are reluctant to waste tax money by throwing us older folks into jail, particularly when clever retirees claim that their modest harvest, aka stash, is strictly for medicinal purposes. There is nothing more harmful to the law enforcement image than that of a news video of old people being led away in handcuffs. Activity number 3. Become an airport greeter. Fashion a large sign. With a thick, felt-tipped magic marker, spell out the name, Godot, in big letters. Capital GODOT, hold it theatrically high in the air as passengers disembark from their flights. Guffman. GUFFMAN is also an appropriate name for movie fans, but I like the waiting for Godot sign the best. Activity number 4. Become a wine taster, and visit wineries to sample their best products. Request freebies with cheese and crackers. Tell them you are a VIP with the SWC. That's the Senior Wine Tasting Council if they ever ask. Activity number 5. Become a consultant. On a busy downtown street, set up 2 lawn chairs that face one another. Construct a sign that reads, "We'll talk, and then $1 per minute." I witnessed this ingenious therapeutic technique employed by a crafty entrepreneurial senior citizen in Vancouver, British Columbia. You will be amazed at how many stressed-out people will sit down to seek out your simplistic advice for a few minutes. It's worth a try. You don't believe me? Check all of the newspapers that are now full of advice columns and nothing else. They give you your horoscope reading for the day and advise you on what movies to see, what TV programs to watch, what music to listen to, what food to eat, where to live, how to raise children and potted plants, and how to solve problems with your neighbor, your spouse, your ex-lover, your boss, your government, you name it. Nothing but advice. Do you know that some psychotherapists charge up to $300 or more per hour? And the trick is that people want to hear themselves speak, like most of your so-called friends who already try to dominate every conversation with you, so you may as well get paid to listen. Activity number 6. House sitter. When retired, if you are going to sit around in your bathrobe all day anyway while watching exhilarating daytime TV, why not get paid to do it? Who knows? There might be some cold beer in someone else's fridge. So, try any of these 6 suggested retirement activities. You have nothing to lose except perhaps with activity number 1, which you remember was tightrope walking, skydiving, and bungee jumping. At age 64, I took my own advice and tried skydiving in Central Florida. It was a thrill. Get ready for retirement rule number 3 soon to come.